Synergita is a cloud-based performance management and analytics software which helps you focus on employee performance, employee engagement, and employee development. I would like to introduce you to the speakers for this session. The first presenter for today's session is Mr. Chandramouli Ramkumar. He is the employee performance management expert in Synergita. Chandramouli spearheads the business development operations at Synergita and specializes in performance management software and human capital solutions. He has over 11 years of experience and possesses an unparalleled expertise in understanding HR requirements. He has a proven track record of delivering the right HR technology to meet industry demands. Besides that, Chandramouli is the Vice President of Tamil Nadu Parasports Association and a contributing member of the prestigious Rotary Club of Chennai. The second presenter for today's session will be Mr. Srinath Narasimhan. Srinath has over 8 years of industry experience in SaaS and specializes in HR technology tools and performance management software. He has extensively interacted with HR professionals in various verticals and exudes a thorough understanding of HR perspective on talent management and performance management solutions. Srinath is the employee performance management expert of Team Synergita. Before handing over the control to Chandramouli, here are a few housekeeping instructions. All phones are set to mute. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat window located beside the presentation panel. We have already received several questions from the registrants, which will be answered by the speakers during the Q&A session. We will continue to collect more questions during the session as we receive them and will try to answer them during today's session. If we are not able to address your queries during the session, you will certainly receive answers via email shortly. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the session. Over to you, Chandramouli and Srinath.
Thank you, Khushbu, for your brief introduction and the housekeeping announcements. Here is an agenda for today. We are making it very simple. So we'll talk about the introduction, why we are here in terms of performance management system transforms the performance of the organization from the grassroots level. Then we'll move on to the challenges faced by the employee's perspective and to the manager perspective, to the HR perspective, and to the management perspective. And as we move on, we have to move to the need for the automation. We'll talk about that in detail, and also we'll cover the advantages of automation in this session. These are all the few points which we are going to cover it in this session. Before moving to the introduction, I'd like to understand some of the profile of the attendees of this webinar. So if you could make your poll over here, it will be very helpful for us to understand your profile. If you are in HR, you can click on the HR. If you are an employee, you can click on it. If you are a manager or a TL, you can click on it. If you are part of management team, you click on the reset option. Yeah, thank you for following your opinion or your role. We could able to see a very good mix of management and team leaders or employee and HR to the session, and it is about 47, 12, and 24 and 18. I think it is a very good mix. We can able to have a wonderful session today. Well, I'll go over to Srinath for the introduction of today's topic.
Thank you, Chandramouli. Hi everyone, very good afternoon. It is very exciting to discuss about this topic. PMS transforms the performance of your organization from the grassroots level. The organization is a mixture of employees and management. Here, they are spread across in various levels and departments. The company's growth depends on the performance of each and every individual. Unless everyone realizes they contribute to a bigger picture, this cannot be achieved. Here, human resource plays a vital role in connecting each other for the growth purpose. For the next 20 minutes, myself and Chandramouli are going to discuss about the challenges an organization faces from the grassroots level, and automation is the solution for it. So let's start with the challenges faced by the employees. So employees are the building blocks of each and every organization. So let's discuss the day-to-day challenge that they face on the PMS front.
Sure, Srinath. I think starting with employee perspective make a lot of sense. I'll tell you a very simple thing. Today, what do you call as an organization? Organizational achievement is irreversibly proportionate to the growth of each and every individual. Growth comes from the milestones. What is milestone is all about? It is nothing about multiple goals only.
So, Chandru, what you're meaning to say is setting a goal to an employee is very important and it also directly proportional to the growth of an individual.
Yes, of course, Srinath. How can a person grow with an unrealized goal? Suppose one story pops up to my mind while we're talking about the goals. Suppose if you take, we are having a football game. All the 11 players each side are enthusiastically ready to play the game. Everyone is charged up and geared up, and they are ready to kick the ball. If somebody comes away and takes away the goal post of it, what would happen to the game? There is nothing left. How do you keep the score? Or how do you know what you can able to arrive as a score, right? So what I mean to say, Srinath, enthusiasm without directions is likely to be a wildfire that leads to only into the first frustration. So goal gives us a sense of direction to anything, Srinath. Okay, I'll ask you something. Would you sit on a train or a plane without knowing where it is going? The answer is obviously no. Then why do people go through the life without having a goals? If it is a life itself is so much, the performance management process for any process goal is very, very important.
Rightly said, Chandru.
Yeah. But then my suggestion is let us talk about what is an undefined goal and how does it impact the organization.
So, when we are talking about undefined goals, according to a survey, nearly 95% of workers are unaware of their employer-specific goals and objectives. So, it becomes difficult for the organization to track its employees' bottom line and business results. So, setting relevant and achievable goals becomes the backbone of both individual and growth of the company. So, your thoughts on this, Chandru?
Srinath, very interestingly, your question has been answered through the study results only. If you take, it is reinstated what is the significance of the goal setting is and how it works as a backbone for any individual or organization per se.
Great, Chandru. So, shall we also discuss something on employee disappointment on day-to-day basis, Chandru?
Sure.
Something like recency error and not having a good rewarding and appreciative environment?
Sure, Srinath. I think when we talk about employee recognition, it is purely on time-to-time basis, or it could be goes as a formal one or an informal one. It can go for an acknowledgement to an individual person or a team behavior. It can go for an effort or a business result. But indeed, it should support the organizational goals and the values. Am I right? And also, it should be beyond the normal expectation so that it will interest the employee also.
Connecting to your thing, Chandru, the psychology of praising others for their good work, to apply the principle of employee recognition yourself, and to encourage others to initiate it in their working relationship and bring in rewarding and appreciative environment, Chandru.
Yes, I think you are right on the pinnacle, Srinath. I would say appreciation is a fundamental need of every human, right? So employees respond to the appreciation expressed through the recognition of their good work. Because it confirms that their good work is valued, right? When employees and their work are valued, their satisfaction and productivity obviously rises, so that they will keep their motivation on the high standard, so their performance will go time and again.
Chandru, since we are discussing about rewarding and appreciative environment, I would like to recite an example from a hotel industry. In hotel industry, employee retention is a major challenge. So the employees has to be taken care in a proper way to retain them. In this particular hotel, they follow a concept called as passport to success. Here, each employee will be given with Bravo points, and these points can be exchanged between the employees if someone does good to someone. At the end of the month, the employee with maximum points can go for a dinner with VP or redeem the points with movie tickets. So in this way, they are able to keep their employees happy and also bring down the attrition syndrome.
Excellent. I think this is one of the best practices what they have in their hotel industry. This can be replicated to other companies also, and the other hospitality industry also can able to adopt it according to their business rules what they have, right?
Yeah, you are rightly said, Chandru. So, what are the other aspects that employees get demotivated, Chandru?
Yes, Srinath. When we talk about the other side of the coin, also we need to talk. Yes, when it comes to the demotivation, this word will not be uttered very regularly by everyone. This is called biased. Okay, but bias refers to the habit that manager has. Okay, you know what? They'll be having an assumption that particular employee is naturally good or bad at his job. This perspective is usually based on the personality clashes and the other factors that do not have any actual impact or job performance. Once the manager has decided on the certain viewpoint of an employee, that the manager naturally looks for the information to back up the viewpoint or evidence to back up the viewpoint what he has got. Also, right, rather than letting the data on employee form its own perspective. This influences majorly in terms of the performance appraisal process as well as to any other review for that matter.
Great, Chandru. So, I would also like to understand your opinion on periodic assessment and continuous feedback, Chandru. How they impact on the growth of an employee perspective, Chandru.
Yeah, sure, Srinath. When we talk about periodical assessment and continuous feedback, one interesting story pops out to my mind from our mythology. I think our mythology has got a lot of stories which can able to connect to any management matter for that matter, right? Okay, during this Kurukshetra, this Arjuna was little scared and panicked after seeing a huge army of Kauravas, Srinath. After that, you know what happened? Krishna sensed it and he wanted to remind him about a couple of instances from his own past so that Arjuna can return to the confidence level what he has got. Right? So what he has recited is, Arjuna, did you remember when you were young, Guru Drona kept a competition to hit the eye of a parrot which was sitting on the tree. When Drona asked everyone what you could able to see, one replied, I could able to see a tree and a parrot. Other replied, I could able to see only the parrot. But you are the one who replied, I could able to see only the eye of a parrot. Then he decided that your focus is your strength. And also, Krishna did not stop with this, and he also reminded him about another story where Arjuna went on and prayed to Lord Shiva to get a special arrow to perform in the war. In that case, what happened is Lord Shiva wanted to test, or he wanted to test whether Arjuna deserves this arrow or not. So he came in a different avatar and he picked up a fight with Arjuna. Then, despite of after some time, despite of knowing he is fighting with a supernatural, not with a human being, then he did not give up his fight. He was completing his fight by seeing the determination of Arjuna. Lord Shiva went on and granted the arrow to him. Okay, this is why I'm telling you the story is he, as an almighty Krishna could able to remember all the past incidents, whatever happened in the whole universe. But in today's scenario, we have to take this and we have to record all the incidents and the periodic review whatever happens on day-to-day basis or periodically so that it will become handy for us when the critical situation arises.
That was a wonderful example, Chandru. So we are able to connect it how periodic assessment and continuous feedback on employees' growth. So, Chandru, the biggest challenge that employees are facing in an organization is to identify their status on the goals assigned to them and what should be done to meet that destiny. So, your thoughts on the same, Chandru?
Yeah, sure, Srinath. When we talk about this, we have to talk about a few things. Since most of the organization performance review happens once in a year or twice in a year only, okay, it has become difficult for an employee to gauge their status on the goal assigned and also not sure about the directions to proceed to achieve the assigned goals, right? So, periodical reviews and continuous feedback can guide the employee to identify where they are and also help them to understand where they lead and where they lag. Also, it helps them to understand where they have to concentrate in order to achieve the set goals of the individual, also for the organization.
Chandru, here I wanted to connect this to a study. Periodic reviews and continuous feedback can be effective only through an automated system. So the advantage over automation system is that data can lie in a single place for analysis, and also employees can refer to them whenever it is required. So praise and recognition are essential to create appreciative workplace, which results in high performance culture, Chandru. So people wanted to be respected and valued for their contribution. Everyone feels the need to be recognized as an individual or member of a group or to feel the sense of achievement for the work well done. or even a valiant effort. Everyone wants a pat on the back to make them feel good.
Oh, is it? Okay. Having said that, Srinath, I think, we need to, before answering this one, I'd like to ask a question to all our attendees in terms of a poll. Okay. How many of your employees do you think they are satisfied with the current recognition program, what you have? If you could, if you think that they are about 25% of them are currently satisfied, you can click on A. Otherwise, you can click on B, C, and D. Yeah, I think the results are out. Interestingly, we could able to see about 29% said that they are about 25%, and 59% said that about 25 to 60, and 60 to 80 about 12%. From here, we could able to see that yes, audience, whatever your decision or your poll is exactly matching with the survey also. Just we'll move on to the PPT. Here, I'd like to tell you, Sirota Consulting is one of the top consulting firm. They have conducted a survey for about 10 years with about 2.5 million employees for about 237 private, public, and non-profit organizations across 89 countries. They have done this. They have completed the survey about 2003, I believe. They could able to understand that only 51% of the workers are satisfied with the recognition what they got from the current organization. Still, what we say is about 49% are yet to tap market.
Oh, is it, Chandru? So, Chandru, on the employee front, I think we have covered almost all the areas. On the managers front, what are all the challenges they face, Chandru? Your opinion on the same?
Sure, Srinath. I think as we have pretty much covered about employee, going to the manager would be the next step. When it comes to the manager, let me explain it to you the major challenges what they face. In terms of the transparencies, okay, transparencies, I'm going to approach the transparency on the more optimistic way. I'll take some of the great place to work companies, what they believe in and what they follow. Okay, they follow something like transparency in terms of better relationship, transparency through better alignment, transparency through better solution, and transparency through better engagement. When I talk about this, I'd like to start with better relationship first. When we say better relationship, employees, do you think normally employee quit their jobs? No. Normally employee quit their bosses, right? In fact, in 2014, Career Builder survey revealed that 37% of 3,008 employees who surveyed were likely to leave their job due to the poor opinion about their boss's performances. When it comes to the building solid workplace, trust take the center stage. Okay, as I told that trust take the center stage. I'd like to remind you about a small incident that company called Unbounce. Unbounce is a classic example. It took the transparency to the another level altogether. Well, there is a blog, it's called Inside Unbounce. It is a staff-authored blog, and it is an uncurated window in the organization. Okay, it not only demonstrate the transparency to the potential job seekers and the customers, etc., and it also keeps the employee involved to the all the commonly happening and the success and the feedback of the organization on day-to-day basis.
Oh, that is great to hear, Chandru.
Yeah. And also when it comes to the transparency through the better alignment, the employee alignment for the transparency sake means taking a look at a bigger picture and seeking to understand everyone's roles within it. Right? This easily done when employers practice transparency in the workplace. Transparent leadership results in employees who understand the company's vision and how their effort can help to achieve the company's wider goals. Right? The transparency is one of the top of HubSpot's work culture, Srina. Interestingly, they have created something like an internal wiki. It includes, they publishes all the financial, including cash balances, burn rates, profits, losses, everything, and also even they've gone ahead and they're publishing all the board meeting decks and management meeting decks and the strategic topics like HubSpot lore and mythology, basically anything and everything. they will be putting up in the wiki, so that all the employees are stayed informed and aligned with the company's vision, right?
Chandra, you gave a very good example for better alignment. I'm able to relate better alignment with transparency, Chandra.
Yeah. Srinath, one more step I'd like to tell you is when we attended this last Great Place to Work conference, we once the CEO of Facebook, they said that they have a practice internally that the download of document can be done intern to CEO. The same kind of a documents can they or the same kind of a report they can able to download. This is the kind of a transparency some company follows, so that everyone and everybody will be informed about the company's vision and the day-to-day happenings.
That is good to hear, Chandru.
Yeah. And as we moving on, Srinath, we spoke about better alignment, and we spoke about the better relationship. Then I would like to talk about more of a transparency in terms of better solution. Okay, when the leaders are transparent, the problems got or solved faster. Am I right? So being open and honest about the company's problem, it help the employee can able to help to find the solution for it, Srinath. What I mean to say is having a one head or more heads are more easier to manage one, right?
Yeah, right. We can get more opinions.
Yes, Srinath. And also we can able to come up with social sharing platforms, make companies to perform publicly with progress reports on the customer support, blog performances, business performances, and much more they can able to do it over there. And not only does doing so increase the accountability, it also highlights issues and encourages employees to find a solution for it too.
Great.
Yeah. And when we move on to the better engagement, a culture that values transparency in the workplace, that is a place where we breed engaged employees. Am I right? So in fact, the Harvard Business Review 2013, which is more focused to employee engagement survey, it's revealed that 70% of those surveyed say they are most engaged when senior leadership continually updates and communicates about the company strategy. When it comes to the engaging employee, it is best to be open about the company matters. And also they are most engaged with the senior leadership, continually updates and communicates the company strategy. Yeah. When it comes to engaging the employee, it is best to be open about the company matters. Even LinkedIn CEO Jeff Wenner fosters that organization has to be built on the transparencies. He even takes the time to hold a bi-weekly meeting, Srinath, during which he updates the employees on the company matters, and he listens to their suggestions in a town hall meeting.
Great, Chandru. So transparency can take the organization to the next level, is what I can understand from here, Chandru.
You're right.
So you mean there is so much in transparency, Chandru? It is exciting to know about all this. From the manager's front, I would like to know here your more insights on tracking and managing the goals, recording an incident diary, lack of knowledge transfer to the employees, completion of projects or task on time, and collating all these data, Chandru.
Yeah, Srinath, when we talk about managing and tracking goals or recording the incident diary, it is more of a manager's role, right? The managers usually rely on their memory to assess the employee performance and rate them during the performance evaluation when it comes to the manual process. As you know, what can be done over here is the streamlined process, like a set of clearly defined goals and their achievement status can enable. Yeah. A set of clearly defined goals and their achievement status enable managers to have a significant benefits. Okay, how I'm telling you is very simple. In terms of if you take a manager can able to view all the goals and achievements at any given point of time, and then he could able to mentor the team member to take a remedial action on a timely manner. Am I right? So he can able to monitor the performance of an individual and an employee or a team on each and every step of it. Am I right? And also he can able to leverage and to encourage the employee to review their goals and revise them periodically, so he and the team can able to meet the organizational objectives. Also, this can help to accelerate the performance improvement by tracking the real-time goal and achievements. Also, not only this, a manager can able to make a well-informed decision in employee appraisal by comparing the goals and the achievement what they have done. Right. Also, if you go, no, not only he can able to view the goals, all the other stakeholders can able to view the goals, so they can able to give their viewpoints also in turn. By doing all these activity, we could able to identify the top performers and we can able to reward them over here.
Great, Chandru. So your insight was very useful.
Srinath, now in turn, I wanted to ask you about what do you think about an incident diary from a manager's desk?
So in continuation to tracking, so every manager knows that communication is the key to a productive workforce. Technology has allowed us to contact each other with, with mere click of a button. This naturally means that current communication methods are as efficiently as possible. So according to a study by McKinsey, it has been found that emails can take up nearly 28% of an employee's time. In fact, email was revealed to be the second most time-consuming activities for the workers. So instead of relying solely on email, try social networking tools designed for even quicker team communication. You can also encourage your employees to occasionally adopt a more antiquated form of contact, which may be voice-to-voice communication. Having a quick meeting or a phone call can settle a matter that might have taken hours of back and forth email.
Okay. That is, it seems to be interesting, Srinath. And now I have another question for you, which I think it will excite you also. What is your thought on the optimal utilization of the talent from the manager's perspective, Srinath?
Sure, Chandru. So optimum utilization of talent on management perspective is also a topic to be discussed. So assigning a right set of objectives and goals to the subordinates is a major scenario to be considered to transform the performance of an organization from the grassroots level. Knowing your employees' skill and behavioral styles is essential for maximizing the efficiency. For example, an extrovert, creative, out-of-box thinker is probably a great person to pitch ideas to clients. However, they might struggle if they are given a mere rule-intensive, detail-oriented task. Asking your employees to be great at everything just isn't efficient. Instead, before giving an employee an assignment, ask yourself, is this person the best suited for to perform this particular task? If not, find someone else whose skill and style matches your needs.
Okay. Srinath, whatever the last point, what you said, whether this person will be optimal or this person will be apt for this one or not. For doing this job or not is very important, and we could able to. It is very interesting, Srinath. And as we move on, I thought we will more talk about from a HR desk or a HR perspective about this, Srinath.
Great, Chandru. So interestingly, one person who owns the complete ownership for the entire organization culture and incorporating best practices is HR, Chandru.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Srinath, even I would rather go ahead and tell that HRs are the superheroes of the organization who get into challenges on day-to-day basis and where they have to fix it also. And they have to move on and get things done on time and every time, right? When you say this, Srinath, I'm able to recall this, which is used to be a great place to work company for consecutively for about 7 years. They defined a well-defined process which makes their employee happy. I think we are facing some technical difficulties. We are apologize for it. Yeah. Now we are talking about from the HR perspective, what are all the challenges on day-to-day basis, what they do. And we say they are one of the superheroes of the organization who get into a lot of challenges and get things done on time and every time, right? When I say this, I'm able to recall one of the company who's a great place to work company for about consecutively 7 years. They have a well-defined process and which makes their employee very happy. Interestingly, apart from their regular reviews and process, continuous feedback, they have coined a few things which will understand the employee satisfaction level on regular basis. They have something like e-pulse survey which goes on month basis, and where the employee will vote and they'll understand where they stand. And also they have coined a word called rate your manager. This is basically an upward feedback where you can able to give it for your manager, and this will help the managers to identify where they lag and where they lead, right? And also they have a concept of Insta Award, which helps them to keep employee motivated every time. And also all these things in turn resulted to them in employee retention in a very greater manner. Also it helped them to grow the company in a very faster manner too.
You rightly said, Chandru. So the best practices can take the company to the next level, Chandru. So like let us also see on a broader perspective on timeliness and visibility.
Sure, Srinath. Yeah, when we talk about this timeliness, I'll tell you the follow-up with respect to each stage of PMS process. It takes a big time, and it is a huge effort for that matter, right? The HR, who is the sole driving force of this whole show, have to follow up with each and every people in the organization, and it has to get things done. Right. Also, there is a chance of missing few in the manual processes as they do it manually, which leads to the significant delay in completing the review and the performance appraisal on time. So,
Yeah. So here I want to connect this to a survey, Chandru. So it has been 90% of employee participation is not effective without a proper PMS system.
now, okay. Now, since we are discussing about more of a data and how things done, I'd like to talk about the collation of a data. Now, the bigger time consumption is going to be on the collation of data and coming out with the relevant reports. Yes. So once the employee assessment is completed, Srinath, the collating the whole data and to convert into an useful information is a very much time-consuming one, and also it takes a lot of man efforts. Having said that, the performance collated into the useful information is not only cover the employees or salary revision. Most of them think that this is only for the salary revision, but it has got a very bigger advantages in terms of we can able to determine the growth of an employee, we can able to identify the career development of an employee, we can identify the training needs of the employee or the department wise. Also, it will give you a strategic decision making power to the management, to whom we have to promote and all those stuff. And also, having said this one, doing a data compilation manually can end up in human error or redundancy is given over there. The multiple follow-up is required to complete each and every activity over there, and it is a very much time consuming, I would say. And also, you cannot have any real-time status of whatever the activities you perform, right?
You rightly said, Chandru. So if an HR is having an automated system, so he can use the other times for concentrating in other areas, Chandru. I'm also keen on knowing what are all the challenges faced by the management on a manual process.
Sure, Srinath. When we talk about from the management perspective, which is very important to take decision. For example, the first important impact is on how do we take a decision. We need a proper analytics for making or for having a good decision making process. Am I right? So HR analytics does not mean or does not only deal with gathering the data on the employee efficiency. Instead, it aims to provide insight into each process by gathering data which needs improvement and the productivity and the outcome, everything of it, of an organization. So how can a company use HR analytics to make a strategic personal decision? The answer is through automation only. Yeah, and having said that, Srinath, MIT and IBM, they conducted a high-level survey, and they came out that HR analytics, if a company have gotten higher level of HR analytics, they'll be having 8% on their 8% higher on their sales growth, 24% higher on their operating income, and 58% higher on the sales per employee.
Great, Chandru.
Yeah. As we move on, Srinath, as we are talking about more of a management perspective, I'd like to understand from you, what do you think is some of the typical benefits of the analytical reporting, Srinath?
So analytics can improve organizational performance through high quality, talented related decisions, Chandru. It can also help to forecast workforce requirements and utilization of improved business performance. It can also help in optimization of talent through development and planning. It helps in identifying the primary reason for attrition and identify high value employees for leaving.
Okay.
It also provides the resource of competitive platform for the organization. It also manages applicant in a better way on the basis of qualification for a specific position. It helps in recognizing the factor, which in turn the employee satisfaction and productivity of an organization rises. And it also helps in determining the individual KPI of business results. So it also enables HR to demonstrate its benefaction to achieving corporate goals, Chandru.
Oh, is it, Srinath? Okay. It seems to be interesting to hear about what are the typical advantages of the analytics one.
So, like in continuation to analytics, Chandru, we should also discuss about the performance-oriented culture, Chandru.
Sure, Srinath. For any organization, to having a performance-oriented organizational culture is very, very important. And I'll tell you, the performance-driven culture in an organization, wherein the entire organization is driven by the motivation to perform to achieve the organizational success, right? So here, the ownership of the performance management process is not only on the HR, but the entire organization has to claim and has to be an accountable for this activity. So driven or performance is driven at each and every level by clearly setting up the goals, targets, and we have to continuously monitor it with the measurements and achievements also. So indeed we can able to reward them on time basis, and so that we can overall sustaining the high level of energy and motivation levels in the organization.
So great, Chandru. So how can we achieve this, Chandru?
Yeah, Srinath, it's very simple. In an organization where the performance-driven culture, that is the foremost one, employees are considered to be a key asset. Yes. So, having said that, employees are the one who actually do the jobs and result in the business outcome. So, the organization focus on the employees and their development by defining a strong performance management process. Here, the work level responsibilities expected out of each employee level is clearly defined and informed to all the employees. So their goals or their targets to be achieved and the set are clearly communicated to each and every employee. So the employees are continuously monitored in the system, and also their performance are well defined. So we'll know what is the metrics, what is coming out, and we can reward them on basis on this.
Great, Chandru. So, Chandru, hope we have discussed in detail about the challenges faced by the employee, HR, manager, and the management on an unautomated environment. So, what is going to be the solution for this, Chandru?
Yeah. Before going for the solution or what is the need for the automation, we would like to go for a small poll. So we'll understand from people, does your organization use pen and paper and do the performance management process, or do you use an Excel, whether you use a system or you use it in a manual way? If you use pen and paper, pen and paper or Excel, you can click yes. Yeah, I think the results shows very interesting one, and we could able to see there are 40% of the organization who does still uses a pen and paper or an Excel to do their process, and 60% says they have a system, which is very exciting. I think we are moving on the right direction as an environment, I would say. Okay, and having said this, Srinath, the solution is to streamline the whole process and to automate it. Let us see what are all the advantages of automating a PMS software. Okay, in a today's bustling environment, and people call it as a so-called VUCA environment, the conventional method of doing employee performance management manually is no more a trend. So these are some of the important reasons why organizations do away with the employee performance management manually, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll explain you. I think the screen is tap on that. I think we are facing some specific technical difficulties. Apologize for it. Yeah, as we are talking about, these are some of the important reasons why organizations do away with the employee performance management manually. The first and foremost things, it consumes a huge time, and also you'll be using the valuable resource unthinkably and doing a monotonous or continuously following up job, and also more chances of human errors and security breaches are given over here. So there is an interesting study. According to the study, an automated performance management system results in 50% of reduction in your administrative effort of an HR and 65% of reduction in effort of a manager and their reports. It is a very, very interesting one, and it is going up to 98% of the participation level when it is an appraisal process is there in the automated environment. Now why we need an automation? It is very simple steps we'd like to tell you, and if you have an automation, it will eliminate all your paper hassles, and it will eliminate your manual errors, and also you have a leverage to take the best practices across the industry and you can be able to use it, and also it increases your goals visibility and the alignment, whether it is aligned according to your company's goals or not. You can able to very well look into it, and also you'll get a powerful insights on the collected data. You can able to have multiple reports from the data which you have gathered. Am I right? So it increases the complaints of the whole company or organization, Srinath, and also you can able to understand what kind of a quality of feedback you are receiving it from employee or a manager for a skip level manager, and also it will have a significant saving of time is given over there. So you can able to see that whether you'll get an honest or objective or open feedback from all your across the organization, and end of the thing, it will improve your bottom line of an individual or an organization as such. And Srinath, when we talk about this, and let us also talk about what are all the advantages when performance management system has got.
So, like these are some of the advantages I wanted to cite here. So, on an employee perspective, so if the employee has been appraised and appreciated in a right way, they are highly motivated, which in turn increases the productivity of the employees. So, as a manager, he would have a bird's eye view of the data of all their employees. So he can act as a coach or a mentor to guide their employees to achieve their goals. So on the HR perspective, there will be availability of data for them. So many analytics can be pulled out from the system, which they can use for analysis.
Oh,
And the management can also be kept highly informed, Chandru.
yeah, I think you have covered pretty much all the points, Srinath. I'd like to highlight some of the advantages of automating the complete performance management system. The first thing is we can able to have a easier and faster administration of the complete process, so that we'll make sure that it is going on time, and also it is very easier to complete on the timeline what we have, right? So and also it is easier to do a data aggregation and analytics from it. What I mean to say data aggregation or analysis, it is very simple. We can able to identify who's the high performing or high potential employees, and also we can able to identify the other side of the coin, who's the underperformer in the organization. Also, we can able to easily identify what is the development needs the organization or a department or group is required. Also, we can be able to within single click we can able to understand what is the participation rates across the organization, so that on time completion whoever is doing that also we can able to take it as a report. So then having said this, we can able to identify what are all the organizational strength and weaknesses, and also what is the goal progresses what we have. And having said about the goal progresses, then we can able to check whether all the goals whatever we have set, it's in aligned to your company's goal or not, right? So then we can able to get all the ratings averages by organizational or department wise, and so on and so forth. We have a lot of advantages, Srinath. The particularly I want to highlight only about the two advantages. One is a time and cost saving. The another one is it improves your employee alignment, productivity, and performance, not only to the individual, to your complete organizational as such.
Great, Chandru. So hope we have covered on the all aspects of how PMS can transform the performance of an organization from the grassroots level, Chandru.
Yeah. Thank you, Srinath. I think we had a wonderful chat.
Sure, same here.
Thank you, Chandramouli and Srinath. We have received a few questions. Now we will pose these questions to Chandramouli and Srinath. The first question is, how will analytics improve decision making? Can you give some use cases?
Yeah, sure. How does analytical improves the use cases, right? I'll tell you. If you are able to understand, if you have a report which says where I can able to identify the top potential and the bottom line of the employee through a 9 quadrant or 9 box quadrant, so that we can able to identify where your employee stands and what we have to do it. And also, having said this, we can able to have a strength and weaknesses report where we can able to download from the system, where it will clearly tell you what is your strength and weaknesses for the individual or for a department for that matter, or for the organization for that matter. Srinath, if you want to add something.
So analytics, the availability of data can help you in getting converted into a useful analytics. So as Chandru mentioned, adding to Chandru, even perceptional gap analysis can also, if you're following a 360-degree review in an organization, even perceptional gap analysis can give an insight about how others have rated on that particular KRA. In this way, like there are also many such reports which can help the HR and the management to make wise and strategic decision.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The second question is, should we have once in a year review or not? If not, how do we appraise an employee's salary?
Once in a review, normally now what the companies are following is they are getting into traditional way of appraising people, which is again appraising the people annually. So the disadvantage of doing the performance appraisal once a year is that the entire year's performance of the employees are not considered during the end of the year. Now in this modern environment, continuous feedback and a periodic assessment are the things that is buzzing around the market. So continuous feedback and periodic reviews can help the organizations to gauge the performance throughout the year, and also the highly performed employee can be valued at a valued.
Yeah, I understand, Srinath. I think what we are trying to say is we can avoid the recency error over here, so that whoever thinks that the recency can be avoided. Also, the first thing is you can move on to the continuous feedback process, which will give you whatever happens the complete year. They can able to view it, and they can able to do the yearly appraisal also. Apart from that, you have an option of going for a check-in, where a check-in can happen on a periodical basis, so that this will be handy when it goes to the performance review process.
Right. The next question is, how does Synergita help employee elevation in an organization?
Okay, can you come again with the question, Khushbu?
Yeah, sure. How does Synergita help employee elevation in an organization?
Yeah, the first thing is the Synergita helps the organization or an employee to keep them engaged in a continuous way. And by doing this engagement in a continuous way, where we can able to create an appreciative environment, and we can able to motivate the employee on time-to-time basis. Yeah, and also through the continuous feedback and Insta awards, they can able to have an instant recognition, where where they can able to conduct an engagement survey as and when required, so that they can able to use the complete leverage on this technology to take the data from it.
Okay. The final question is, does Synergita support project-based appraisal?
So project-based appraisals can be done through Synergita. So it can be done on multiple ways. So if an employee is involving in multiple projects, so like how it works in Synergita is like he has to complete a particular project, and once after the completion of that particular project, he can also involve in the next project. And during the end of the year, so all these data can be referred, and he can be appraised and appreciated in a right manner.
Okay. Thank you once again, Chandramouli and Srinath. We thank you all for attending the webinar. Hope you all had a good and informative session. If you have any further questions, please feel free to send an email to info@synergita.com. We will be sending the recorded version of this webinar to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Khushbu. Thank you all.
Thank you all.